Let's talk about why Trump's economic and immigration approach looks like common sense to working Americans, and why blue state Democrats keep proving they'd rather protect their revenue stream than protect their own citizens. Here's what's happening. Trump is pushing policies that let workers keep more of what they earn, like no federal tax on tips and overtime, while Democratic led states like Illinois, Maine, and D.C. are choosing to keep taxing tips anyway. Illinois alone is looking at a projected $267 million in lost revenue if they stop taxing tips. Notice how they frame it, not as citizens keeping their own money, but as the state losing money. That tells you everything. If your first instinct is, we can't afford to let waitresses and bartenders keep their tips, what you're really saying is this: we've built a system that depends on squeezing the working class to fund everything else. And everything else increasingly includes benefits for people who aren't even here legally. Look at California. Gavin Newsom openly brags about expanding healthcare regardless of immigration status. That's not compassion, that's an incentive structure. When a state advertises that it will provide shelter, food, education, and healthcare whether you come legally or not, it's basically putting out a welcome mat, then sending the bill to taxpayers. Meanwhile, sanctuary policies like Illinois' House Bill 1312 don't just make enforcement harder in courthouses, hospitals, universities, and daycares. They also create the perception that these places are safe havens from federal law. Even if federal law still wins in the end, the messaging alone encourages people to run toward schools and hospitals to avoid arrest. That's not humane, that's reckless. Trump's approach is the opposite: enforce the law, remove incentives, and stop pretending we need new laws to do what we already have the authority to do. That's why his line hits so hard. We don't need new laws, we need a new president. Bottom line, Trump looks good here because his message is consistent. Protect workers, enforce borders, stop funding incentives for illegal immigration, and quit gaslighting the public with polished narratives that don't match real life.